Joining me today is PFL featherweight Brendan Loughnane, who takes on Tyler Diamond at PFL 4 on June 10. Brendan, how's it going?
Oh, fantastic. Great to be here again. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And how long have you been in Jersey? Like, how long have you been quarantining?
What are we on now? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, 3 days. So, yeah, it's been fine.
Any takeaways from the first time around? Any do's, any don'ts? How have you been passing your time?
Well, 12 days is a lot better than 17, I'll tell you that. So, this is a walk in the park, like a fight a week tomorrow. So, it's easy work.
For sure. And you, of course, had a standout performance in your first fight. Knockout over Shaman Moraes, 6 points, the only finish of the night. I mean, could it have gone any better? I mean, I'm sure you envisioned ways that you were going to put him away, but man, like to be the highlight of the night as well. Could have you imagined it to go that good?
I mean, it was a fairy tale ending, really. If you would have told me that I was going to knock Shaman out the way I did, and then for nobody else to get a finish, and then everybody's only on 3 points and I'm on 6, and it's just such a fairy tale ending to what's been a very frustrating 18 months prior. So I didn't take my foot off the gas. I trained my ass off, and then, like I say, it all just showed in the fight.
For sure. And I feel like you went in, I don't know, as an underdog, but there's a lot of big names, obviously, with Lance Palmer, standout wrestlers, notable names, this and that. But now, after the first night of fights, I feel like you're being touted as one of the guys to win it all. So have you felt that kind of change from people like maybe being a little underestimated to being touted to potentially win the whole thing?
I mean, how can they not? How can you not put me as I'm number one seed right now, and I'm the only one that got a finish? I mean, if you don't think I'm going to win it now, I mean, what else do I have to do to prove it to you? I mean, I've got a great fight again coming up next week with Tyler Diamond, and I plan to do the exact same again. And I don't know. I feel like after the whole contender thing, I feel like I was counted out a little by a lot of people. And I needed this. I needed a good showing like this. I've had 2 fights since then. That was my third fight, and I didn't manage to get the finish in them fights. But like I said, in them fights, them guys' victories were here in the final belt. I knew that Shaman Moraes was going to actually fight me like he did. He come running across the cage. We exchanged. And I knew that I would be able to get the finish when somebody actually tries to fight me. But if you're going in and just defending, it's very hard to put someone away. So, yeah, I did exactly what I said I was going to do.
Yeah, and yeah, you were very fired up. I know you weren't happy with some of kind of the picture that was painted that you didn't finish guys. Although you do have a lot of finishes on your resume. Maybe they were looking at the last couple ones before that one, but you were super fired up after that fight. So, how did that feel to kind of silence some of those doubters?
Well, I was saying that everyone thinks that was aimed at Dana White, but it really wasn't. I was watching some podcast today, some MMA breakdown podcast, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, Brendan Loughnane is going to do what Brendan Loughnane does. He's going to jab. He's going to move around the outside, and he's going to win on points because we know he's not going to finish anyone." I was like, "I'll show these people," and then it all just kind of came out on the camera.
No, it was a great moment. It was great to see like pure raw emotion and no gimme fights. I mean, you get Tyler Diamond, who fought on the same night, picked up a big win over Sungbin Jo. Completely different fight than you. You had a pretty nice, quick finish, unscathed. Him, on the other hand, went through a war. He was dropped. He was hurt. He came back. Do you think that's going to play an advantage? The fact that he went through that kind of fight and you guys are turning around pretty quickly, where you came out relatively unscathed or completely unscathed?
Well, I'll tell you now, Brendan Loughnane had the toughest 2 preseason fights. Look at who Bubba and Lance are fighting this time. They've got 2 gimme fights, 2 last-minute replacements. I've had to fight Shaman and Tyler, 2 guys with great records and great names, but I would prefer to do it this way. I want to win this tournament and beat all the best guys along the way. So I don't want to get to the end and go, yeah, but he had an easy road. I want the hardest road possible. I want the toughest fights. And then when I get there and I win it, people will know how serious that I am. You know what I mean? And like I say, I come out unscathed. I didn't take one bit of damage. I don't even think I took a shot, to be honest. And I can see it going the same with Tyler. I'm just on a whole different level at the minute. And I've been trying to tell people for a long time, my experience. I've been on the Contender. I've been on the Ultimate Fighter. I fought in Russia. I fought in all these crazy organizations all over the world. And really, I've got a few controversial decision losses. And I feel like it's all just coming to fruition now. Cream always rise to the top, as they say.
Right. And do you think the damage he took in that fight, in his first fight, is going to play a factor? Like, you guys are turning around pretty quickly. So do you think that's going to play a factor at all? That you're the much fresher fighter?
100%. How can it not play a factor? He's still got a black eye now. Like, come on, like, he's going to, like, the fact that he got dropped twice in that fight is not gonna go down well when he fights me, another striker with great takedown defense. I mean, come on, we know that Tyler's gonna try and wrestle. He might try and think he's a boxer like he did in that fight, but he's gonna try and wrestle. And I've just spent 5 weeks, 2 hours every morning at Alliance MMA, getting off my ass, defending wrestling. I was training with the NCAA champion who just won the nationals. We brought him in. He was wrestling the life out of me, and man, I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Like, from the picture I just posted, and the physique and the shape that I'm in, the energy that I'm giving off, I just feel like this is my tournament.
And how does it feel to turn around quickly? Because obviously it was a little frustrating for you. I think it was like a year and a half that you hadn't fought before you fought your last fight. So to turn around pretty quickly, how good does that feel, especially that you're feeling fresh and healthy?
I'm still pissed off now that I missed a year and a half in my prime. I missed, 30 years old. I missed a full year and a half. I'm absolutely furious still, but what can I say? Like, you give me these opportunities now. I would fight every 4 weeks for the rest of my life if I could. This is what I love to do. I fight every Friday for free anyway, inspiring. So it's like, this is nothing to me. And I just hope that, this season, I wish it carried on again. I wish it was consecutive. I was a bit upset that we're not doing the 2 fights in one night as well now. I wanted to try something new. But, we're here now. We'll fight again next week. We're not dwelling on the past. We're not dwelling on no losses. We're not dwelling on no missed time. We're focusing on Tyler Diamond and what the job that I've got at hand.
For sure. And how about the Bubba Jenkins upsetting Lance Palmer? Did you see that coming? And what were your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen, to be honest. I mean, he was in his head throughout the whole week. He was telling him, oh, I beat you in wrestling. What are you going to do? You can't wrestle me and this and that. And it's shown in the fight. He did exactly what he said. Bubba Jenkins is a dangerous fighter. And I can see myself either in the semis or in the final with him. And let's go, Bubba.
Yeah, he's one of those underrated fighters, because I followed his career in Brave and stuff like that. He's good. He's a great character. He's got a lot of charisma. He's just one of those guys that people haven't paid too much attention to when they should have. And I feel like that's why he was such a big underdog against Lance Palmer. Also because Palmer obviously had won the tournament back to back.
I mean, yeah, I also followed him in Brave. I was going to sign for Brave, so we were both fighting for ACB in Russia at the same time, and we were nearly fought there. We were actually talking about that. I think Bubba's a great guy. I like him. He's funny. He's a great guy, and I look forward to competing against him at some point in this season.
Did you say you were going to almost fight him?
Yeah, an ACB. Well, he said that he got offered me, and I didn't. I personally didn't get offered him, but it's. I can see it happening. We're both two guys. We're not afraid to speak our minds. And we've got good banter between us. Why would you not make that fight?
Yeah, it could very well be a finals matchup. I almost felt like you and Tyler could have been as well, because like I said, you're not getting any gimme fights there. But what do you think about Lance Palmer? Do you think he'll bounce back? Do you think we'll see him potentially in the finals? How do you think that loss is going to affect him? Because I don't even remember the last time he's lost.
This is really difficult now because everyone's got 3 points, so it's like a level playing field again, apart from me. So it's really a dogfight now for who can get to the playoffs. It could go either way for all these guys, so it's going to be very interesting. And I'll tell you what else is interesting. By the time I fight, I'm going to actually know how many points I need. Tyler's going to know he might need a first round finish. He might need a second round finish. So what happens if he doesn't get it and he ain't got enough points? All right, will that break you in the middle of the fight? Who knows? It's all interesting. I can't wait.
Yeah, and that's why those 6 points that you got were so pivotal. I mean, I feel like out of all the divisions in PFL this year, featherweight is the most stacked. Like, I feel like this is such a good, I was so excited when they announced that roster, and I'm sure you are, because you're saying you want those tough fights, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm at the stage of my career now where I'm 31 and I would like to fight the best names. Like, I need, like, I've been struggling to get matchups for a long time in different organizations or whatever. And I feel like when you give me Shane and Moraes, I was like, yes, like, this is a guy that everybody knows, everybody respects, everybody rates. He's been in there with the best guys. I can finally show how good I am. And that's why all this emotion came out of me. I was like, look, this is how good I actually am. And again, Tyler Diamond, 12-1, one loss, Bryce Mitchell. Everyone's saying, oh, Tyler Diamond. Okay, well, I'll do it again. And then what? Then we're all going to keep saying how good Brendan is, and we're going to know eventually. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right. And you said you feel like he's gonna predominantly wrestle you. Obviously, with the result you had and the war that he just came off, you feel like he's gonna predominantly try to grapple you throughout the whole fight.
Tyler Diamond is 1000% going to wrestle. No matter what he says on interviews or anywhere, he's going to wrestle. He's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. Every strike he throws is to wrestling. You know, he stood up with the Korean only because he couldn't take him down. Do you know what I mean? That was the only reason. So let's see how it goes. But I mean, Tyler's took some heavy shots in that last fight, and I'm peaking right now. Not an injury to my name. I had 2 great back-to-back camps. Had some great sparring partners. Feel on top of the world, and it's going to be a rough night for Tyler. I really do believe that.
And I know you stayed obviously in the US. You were training at Alliance with Dom Cruz and the rest of the guys because, obviously the tournament being here in the US. But moving forward, I know you did a lot of your camp in Dubai and before Tiger Muay Thai. What's your plan moving forward in terms of your career? Do you have one? You plan on going back to Dubai or just kind of bounce around places? Where do you envision yourself kind of settling?
That's a great question. I ask myself that question every day. I did 6 months in Thailand, 6 months in Dubai. Now I'm 3 months into America. Like I don't even know where I am anymore. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know for one thing I'm training and I'm training hard and I'm moving around and I'm sparring the best bodies on planet Earth. I mean, sparring UFC champions on all corner of the globe. I know where I'm at. They all know where I'm at, and it's about time I get what I deserve.
Yeah, because it's been a crazy time, obviously with the pandemic. But I guess you had to leave Thailand, of course, because of lockdown stuff, and that's why you went to Dubai. Was that the reason why?
Yeah, I mean, it locked down, the gym closed, then it just started getting gradually worse and worse and worse. And then I went home. I went home for 4 weeks. And then I heard, oh, UK's going to go into lockdown. And then I knew a few people in Dubai. I was like, okay, I'm going to go there. And then they ended up having an amazing, one of my best camps ever in Thailand, in Dubai, sorry. There was some amazing talent all around the map. People that you would never have heard of, Uzbekistanians and Brazilians and some good Chechens. And I had a great padman conditioning. I managed to get it all together there. So Dubai might be a place for me in the future, to be honest.
Cool, nice. And I'll leave you with a couple more questions, and I appreciate your time. I believe you're the only Brit on the PFL roster. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if so, how does that feel to be representing the UK, like the only man?
Flying the flag, man. The UK needs to get behind me a bit more as well. Like, come on, I'm this lone guy. I'm out here. I'm making big moves. This will be my 5th fight in the US, and I've not lost 1 round in 4 fights. I've not lost 1 round. Right, this will be my 5th consecutive fight. How many other Brits are coming out here and doing this? Like, I'm coming into foreign territory every time and getting the job done, and this will be another one. And there's only so long that you can't pick up on Brendan and what I'm doing. So, I mean, it feels amazing to represent my country. After being on the Smashes, the Ultimate Fighter, and representing my country on there, it feels like I get to do it all over again in this tournament.
I agree. Get behind your man, everybody. And I'll leave you with one last one. Then your last one, is it safe to say you're predicting another quick knockout over Tyler Diamond? Do you feel like do you envision a first round finish?
I hate making predictions. I really do. I don't like doing them. But let's just say I'm incredibly sharp. I'm incredibly fit. I'm incredibly fast. Tyler's got a few knocks, a few bruises. I've seen your black eye. So it's a quick turnaround time. So let's see what happens.
All right. Well, Brendan, I appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much. And best of luck on June 10th. Like I said, it's been a great season of featherweights. You've delivered, and this is another spectacular fight. So looking forward to it, and best of luck.
Let's go. Thank you very much. Take care.